Are we live? Oh, you unmuted my mic. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. How you doing, bud?
How's it going, man? How are you?
I'm great. You sure you don't want to talk basketball instead?
Oh God, no. We have enough of your takes on this. We have enough of your baseball takes. We don't need to dive into another sport. That just does not need to happen.
Oh man, I mean that's GA contract.
Oh jeez,
A lot of money.
A lot of money. Got a title though. Doesn't matter. Got a title.
I'm an SGA guy. But anyway, how's everything else going? How's your week going? You ready for fourth? What's going on, bro?
Fourth's coming around. It should be a staple in Major League Baseball every single year. Yeah. So I'm excited for the weekend. I just can't wait. I love when they come out with the hats, the new hats for 4th of July. Every team has one. So yeah, I'm ready for the 4th, especially when there's baseball. I can't beat it. Can't beat it,
baby. Can't beat it. A lot of things to get to today, Nick. We do have to talk about the futures game and guys that we're excited because the futures roster, also our futures game roster, was revealed. We are definitely going to get to that today. So I'm curious to see who you're really excited to see. MLB and ESPN. It looks like they broke up. We'll be trying to get back together. We'll talk about that. And
talk about it.
Yeah, and we have a blind ranking. We're coming back with a blind ranking, and I have one for you today. I'm excited about it. And it's a big nat. You know what? Just wait for it. I'm not good at teases. It's something I'm trying to work on. It's bad, but it's going to be a good one today. I promise. Stay tuned for the blind ranking. It is going to be me giving one to Nick. So stay tuned for that. I hope
this is going to be rough. This one's going to be rough.
It's going to be a good one. I'm excited just to give you the list that I'm going to give you. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, episode 92 is underway, Nick. And let's start off with some some gloomy news here. Dave Parker, the Cobra, who was elected into the Hall of Fame this year in the classic baseball era committee, along with, fan favorite around here, Dick Allen, Nick. Dave Parker, unfortunately, passes away at the age of 74, within the last week after an extensive battle with Parkinson's disease. Again, elected in the Hall of Fame this year. He was 1978 National League MVP, won a couple of World Series with the Pirates. He's, one of the best Pirates in the history of their franchise, a couple of batting titles, 7-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger, and 3-time Gold Glover. And is now going to be enshrined in the Hall of Fame this year, but unfortunately not going to be there to be at the ceremony, just like Dick Allen, unfortunately. But at least he was able to be alive to hear his name be elected this past winter. But fortunately, passing away at the age of 74, Nick. It's some sad news.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, part of the We Are Family Pirates. I mean, batting average, you talk about it. He was an absolute legend, batted .305 with the Pirates. You remember that 1979 All-Star game. You see those growing up, like those iconic throws he made from the outfield. So he has these legendary moments. Remember, he took over for Roberto Clemente out there in right field. And, that's filling big shoes there. He kind of filled those shoes of Clemente. And, it's hard to do that from a legend. And he turned into a legend himself in the outright. So, listen, he was 78 National League MVP, 2-time World Series champion with the Pirates as well as with the A's, 10 years apart, 7-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove, 3-time Silver Slugger, and the All-Star Game MVP in 1979. Legendary career. Obviously him getting in now to the Hall of Fame through the committee. It's nice to see. I know there was a lot of stuff with the drugs and that type of stuff towards the end, but I'm glad to see he's getting in the Hall of Fame. It's well deserved. But an all-time legend in Pittsburgh, filled the shoes of Clemente very well in the outfield. And right field's a big deal in Pittsburgh history. So, condolences there, but an absolute legend heading into the Hall where he rightfully belongs.
That's correct. So rest in peace to Dave Parker. Definitely some sad news as he passes away from Parkinson's disease at the age of 74. Baseball world will remember him. Pirates, family and fans will always remember him as well. Legend in the game. All right, Nick. Clayton Kershaw. I thought he was going to hit 3,000 strikeouts, his last start. It didn't happen, but he's probably going to. I think he's slated to start. I think it's Yamamoto tonight. I'm pretty sure it's him after Yamamoto. And Kershaw is coming up on the 3,000 strikeout mark. Who knows? This might be the last time we see a 3,000 strikeout guy. I don't know, Nick. I mean, guys are only going, 5-6 innings? It's not like they used to be. Kershaw might be the last of a dying breed. But you know what, Nick? It made me think about this. I don't know if it's because of maybe his postseason struggles at time for Clayton Kershaw. Does have a World Series ring now. But I don't know, Nick. I think there's a conversation here that Clayton Kershaw hasn't been appreciated enough for his career, for what he did from the day he debuted with the Dodgers in 2008 until still pitching today. Now, last 4 or 5 years, I get the injuries that it's hard to be completely healthy your entire career, especially when you're a pitcher. It's a hard thing to do. Which makes what Zach Wheeler is doing right now, by the way, really, really impressive to see how elite he is at his age right now. But I don't know, Nick. I think Clayton Kershaw has been underappreciated. I think he has, and here's why. I look at what he did from 2009 to 2020. If you look at his numbers, Nick, ERAs of below 3 every single year besides one. Has 3 Cy Youngs, 1 MVP, led the majors in ERA 4 straight years in his prime. Was the strikeouts over 200 for a 5-year stretch here, 5-year stretch there in the mid 2010s, a 300 strikeout season, which we don't see too often anymore. Back in 2015, I think what Kershaw was able to do 2009 to 2020, right? The dominance that he had for that, I think there's an argument that he was the best pitcher of his generation. And I still think there was, I get it. His postseason woes, they're there. But they aren't like horrendous. They aren't horrible. He's a 4.49 ERA in 194 and a third postseason innings. And I get it, but still, they aren't horrendous. I think what Kershaw has done, in his career, about to hit 3,000 strikeouts. He's on his way to the Hall of Fame. He's going to be, there's an argument that has a better career possibly than Verlander and Scherzer. I don't know. It's those three, right? It's definitely those three.
Right.
But I think you can look at Kershaw and say maybe he's the Koufax of his generation. And I don't know. He's about to hit 3,000 strikeouts, and it's just like, okay, like I know maybe a lot wasn't made of it when Verlander and Scherzer hit 3,000 either, but he's going to be, maybe the last one to do it, or at least for a long time. And I don't know. I'm looking back at his career, and I think people maybe think about the postseason numbers too much when they're okay. And, I think we still look at, as baseball fans, really what you did, the Cy Youngs, MVP, and regular season stuff. I still think that we look at those numbers, and usually they're like the end all be all. Let's be real. So I still think I think Kershaw is underappreciated, Nick. I think what he did in his career, especially from 2009 to 2020, those numbers from all those years, I really do think he's underappreciated.
Yeah, I think you're crazy. I just think you're absolutely insane. There's no way Clayton Kershaw is underappreciated. Okay, I think he's very much appreciated. We know he's a Hall of Famer, no doubt, slam dunk, probably first ballot. Okay, you're not even close here. Not even close. He's not underappreciated. Are you serious? He has been fantastic, and I think people recognize that. Now, I think part of it was the stigma of the postseason. I understand that, where people felt they couldn't trust him, and they had every reason not to trust him in the postseason for a while. But the regular season stats have always been there. He's always been that dominant in the regular season for sure. 3-time Cy Young winner, 2014 NL MVP, 10-time All-Star, has a couple of World Series under his belt now. He would be the fourth lefty to ever hit 3,000 strikeouts. It would be joining Randy Johnson, Steve Carlton, and CC Sabathia. No, I think you're just way off base here. I think people very much appreciate what Clayton Kershaw has done. I think he's been regarded as one of the best pitchers in baseball for a long time throughout the duration of his career. He just has it. I mean, he has been so good throughout the entirety of the past 10 to 15 years. I know the last couple of years he hasn't been, the same. He's gotten older. I understand it, but this guy was striking out everybody. He was a lefty. He was talked about through so many years as just being this top of the top type of guy and that next all-time lefty. So I don't think he's been underappreciated. I think past couple years he hasn't been as talked about as like some of the younger guys, like the Scoobles, the Skeens of the world, etc. Just because he's older, he's been around the block, he hasn't been the same pitcher he was during the prime of his career. So that I think that's why you feel like he hasn't been appreciated enough, probably in recent memory. I think recency bias is sneaking in there, Francisco, on you. It's sneaking in there. So I think that's part of it. But I think throughout the entirety of his career, absolutely no doubt he's been appreciated. So I don't think he's been overappreciated. I don't think he's been underappreciated. I think he's just been appreciated because he's been one of the most dominant lefties the game has ever seen. And it's going to reflect when he goes to Cooperstown.
Okay. Well, I agree with that. He's going to go to Cooperstown. I don't know. We're coming up on a milestone here, Nick. And what this guy did for a decade long, like as, one of the best pitchers of the last, I don't know how long. I mean, we talk about Pedro being the GOAT. He didn't have insane postseason numbers. Like his postseason numbers were, I think looking back on it, they were good, but they weren't out of this world. I remember him in 2003 in the ALCS, not having a very good start in that Game 7 against the Yankees. And some can argue about the manager and stuff like that. I don't care. Still at the end of the day, you didn't perform. Okay, but we argue about Pedro being the GOAT. Why aren't we? I don't know. I just feel I feel like we're not talking about how Kershaw was, this generation's we talk about Randy Johnson, right? I know 4 Cy Youngs. I get it. I know. I love Randy Johnson.
Where's your jersey? Gonna get a Kershaw jersey now to put next to the Randy jersey. I mean, you love the NL West. Clearly, you love the NL West.
What's wrong with that? If I got a Kershaw, see, not appreciated enough. If I got a Kershaw jersey right now, what's wrong?
No, it's only because of you. You just you go out, you get all these different jerseys of peculiar players. It's unreal. It's unreal.
I'm gonna do it now. I might do it. I might do it.
I wouldn't be shocked. Would not be shocked one bit.
First, I'll do my Sandy Koufax Cooperstown case video, and we'll talk about why he might not be a Hall of Famer. And then,
speaking of underappreciated by Francisco,
that's fine.
That guy's
maybe
underappreciated.
Yeah, I think we overappreciate Sandy Koufax for what he did for 3 years. Look, and I'll say this: I think the Sandy have a perfect game in the World Series. No hitter. Yeah,
I think it's a no hitter, right? Is it a no hitter?
Yeah. It's the other thing too. Kershaw also, not a lot of pitchers have that bulk of a sample size.
No.
What he did. I'm just saying. I'm not. What am I saying? I don't know, but.
He's been very much appreciated. He has been very much appreciated, to say the least. It's because the last couple years he's been overshadowed by other pitchers because he's not in his prime anymore. That's why that's why you're asking the question if he's been appreciated enough. It's a Francisco topic. Clearly a Francisco topic.
Okay, well, here's my thing. Well, yeah, thank you for joining my TED Talk. I remember the 2020 World Series. They won the World Series. Still, everything we talked about was Kershaw's playoffs. And by the way, he pitched well in those 2020 playoffs, albeit the
He
COVID
did.
season. Yeah, but like still, it wasn't like Kershaw's the GOAT, like blah blah blah, or like
It was also
Kershaw's
it was the COVID year too.
I know,
so
but I just remember 2020, and we're still not talking about like what Kershaw did in his career. I just don't. And maybe we, honestly, maybe we don't talk about how good. I think people do talk enough about how good Verlander was.
Yeah,
but I mean,
definitely.
prior to the last couple of postseasons, I don't think Verlander's postseasons were all that good.
No, but
I don't think people were killing him as much.
I think you're missing the mark with the Kershaw thing. I think he's been very well respected throughout the game, appreciated, and it's going to show when he's the first ballot Hall of Famer in Cooperstown.
Well, that's a given, though. I'm just
what
saying.
What do you need for him to be appreciated? Like, what is not being? He's just not being talked about.
Talk about how incredible he was, or he is. I guess still is. Well, not. I mean, at this point in his career, not the same.
I think he has. I remember those years. This was through my teenage years. I remember. The baseball. Yeah. He was I remember collecting baseball cards of Clayton Kershaw. Okay, and he was coveted. And so I think you're missing the mark because he's not in the prime of his career anymore. He's towards the end. People aren't going to talk about him as much. It's just how it goes. Like, you're not like some of these guys that end their careers. You don't need to talk about them because they've kind of fallen off a little bit. Why do they need to be at the top of the conversation? Clayton Kershaw doesn't need to be at the top of the conversation of pitchers of today.
Well, yeah, Miguel Cabrera's like his farewell tour, and he hits 500 home runs, and we're like, oh, Miguel's about his 500 home run. With Kershaw, it's not like 3,000 strikeouts. Like, man, it's wrapping up one of the best careers we've seen as a pitcher in the last 25 years. We're not talking about it that way. Miguel Cabrera, it's like, let's give him a painting here. Let's give him
some players ask for that, and it's the personality too of the player. That also, this is kind of with the Wheeler conversation. Is he appreciated enough throughout baseball?
By the way,
I don't think he is. I don't think he is. But he's at the top of his game, and that's what's crazy.
Agreed. I'm just looking at Kershaw's overall, what he's done in his career, especially at his peak. I still don't. I'm not saying that people don't talk about it at all. I'm not saying that people don't appreciate it at all. I'm just saying that I still think there needs to be a little more of a level of just
discussion.
Yeah, I just think a little bit more like, Kershaw was so good, like a little more emphasis on it. That's all I'm saying. I'm looking at here, coming up on 3,000. I'm like, people aren't really like, I don't know. I just doesn't feel like the bar there. I get it. I get the postseason thing. There's a little bit. I think there is something to it, but I still think it doesn't merit not discussing him as one of the best, out of him, Verlander, Scherzer, since Randy and Pedro of that era. I just don't think it's discussed enough. That's just how I see it.
All right, I totally disagree. I disagree. I think it's just because he's not the same level he once was. And there's, what is Kershaw? And is Kershaw at this point in his career, is he interesting? Is he interesting right now? The 3K is interesting.
Yeah.
But once that's over, and once he gets it, it'll be a story. It'll be talked about. And then I think people will look at it like, oh my gosh, this is one of the best left-handers we've ever seen. So once he gets there, crosses the milestone, I think that's when you'll get the appreciation you're looking for.
Okay. I hope you're right. I'll be monitoring. If I don't get the appreciation enough, man, I'm gonna come after you.
All right. All right. Well, I don't know what your scale's at with this, but well, guess we'll find out.
Yeah, it's no appreciate. You don't appreciate Aaron Judge. You don't appreciate Clayton Kershaw.
I do. I appreciate Aaron Judge. I appreciate Aaron Judge.
No, you don't. You don't. It's okay.
I think he's overappreciated.
I don't appreciate Cal Raleigh either. 33.
What?
Now. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like whenever we've been doing the show prep for the last month or so, I'm like, yeah, let's talk about this Cal Raleigh home run thing. You're like, yeah, it's fine.
I appreciate Cal Raleigh. I appreciate him more than Aaron Judge, honestly.
See, you shouldn't be doing that. That's the problem. What are you doing?
He should get maybe he's the real MVP, honestly.
Settled out. Yeah, 5 days after we did our midseason awards. By the way, check out our last episode. We did our midseason awards. We will be. We'll be tweeting out and posting our midseason awards from the last episode on social media. But go check out the episode to find out who
Got to
else
make a
picked
change
the
to mine. Taking my Aaron
Oh.
Judge MVP back.
Do you want me to change it? I will change it.
I'm
for
good.
this
No,
one.
you can leave it. You
Oh,
can leave
right,
it.
right,
I
right.
appreciate him.
That's
I
what
appreciate
thought.
him enough.
Yeah, enough. You don't appreciate him enough. Gosh, guys, him and Kershaw are two of the best we've seen the last like however long, and you just want to sit here.
They're all appreciated. They're all very much appreciated.
We're going to talk about it in a little bit. You want to talk about? I guess we'll get to the meat and potatoes here. Let's get to the meat and potatoes. Real quick, what I had for dinner, Nick, because this is what we do. I had an Italian hoagie.
Oh, going hoagie. Hoagie.
Yeah,
Hoagie mouth from Delco. Nice. I went tomato pie and
I'm
ramen.
always eating pizza.
Tomato pie and ramen.
You're eating the like 13-year-old diet. Grow up.
Tomato pie and ramen. Had leftover tomato pie in there.
Tomato pie. By the way, I'm gonna set this out to the audience too, because I'm curious. I'm actually curious about your take on this, Nick, because I don't know if I've asked you in the past, but when people, I've mostly noticed that old people say like Monday and Sunday and Tuesday.
They do.
And potatoes, but I've been told it's a Philadelphia accent type of thing.
I
think it's an old people thing. I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm with you there. I think it's an older generation thing. I'm surprised you're not saying it yet with your gray hair, with your grays coming in.
Right, yeah.
Over 30. Oof.
Yeah.
You're gonna be saying Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday soon. So
someday you're gonna appreciate Clayton Kershaw's bad.
I appreciate Clayton Kershaw. I got plenty of Clayton Kershaw rookie cards to prove it.
That's cool. That's great. You're a baseball card collector. That's what you do. You should have some. Anyway,
very much appreciated.
Anyway, meat and potatoes. All-Star Futures game roster, Nick, has been revealed. Do I want to read off everybody here? There's like
you don't have to. We can hit the headliners.
Let me just give some names in here. So Andrew Painter's not going to be pitching in the game, I believe, but his name is on there. Some names to look out for. We'll get to them. But we have the kid from Seattle. His game is escaping me. It's switch pitcher Durangelo. How do you say his last name, Nick?
Durangelo. It's like Sinjanti.
Yeah. I can't say it right now. I'm sorry. Max Clark for the Tigers. George Lombard Jr. from the Yankees. Sebastian Walcott from the Texas Rangers. Harry Ford, who I remember, I believe, from the British team from the WBC a couple of years ago. I want to say that's right. Also, Leo I can't say his name either. Wow, this is bad prep by me. DeVries from San Diego. We got also, is it Jesus Made or is it Jesus Made?
I think it's Jesus.
It's Jesus. It should be Jesus Made. Should be. Eduardo Tait from the Phils. There's a lot of names here, Nick, from the Futures game. Just give me some players you're excited to see in the Futures game.
Yeah, so I mean, listen, you have 50 top prospects, 31 of the top of MLB Pipeline's top 100, 9 in the top 22 overall are going to be playing in this game. JJ Weatherholt's the name I'm looking at. Braden Montgomery from the White Sox, another name I'm looking at. Eduardo Tait from the Phillies is another name. Young cat I'm watching for in this game. So a lot of interesting prospects. You're seeing a ton from the top 100. So, I mean, you have 31 out of the 100. That's pretty solid. It's a lot of talent that's going to be played in this game. I look forward to this game every year. You have Chipper Jones managing the NL All-Stars, and Marquise Grissom is managing the AL Futures. So very cool. Fred McGriff going to be on the coaching staff. Tim Hudson, Andrew Jones, Mark DeRosa. So it's going to be a fun game. Like these young guys all over the place. Some big names are coaching in this game. I think it's going to be really cool. And a quick stat for you is that 87% of the participants that play in a Futures game eventually make it to the Major League Baseball.
Mhm.
Make it to the majors. I mean, they usually make it to the major league level. So yes, this is a fun game. These are guys of tomorrow that you're going to see. Some of them you're going to see very soon. So those are the names I'm looking at, and some of the guys that are coaching, some of the legends that are coaching these guys in this game.
I like it. So for me, there were the three names I picked out. I'll definitely go with what's his face from Seattle, Durangelo. The switch pitcher, I think it's like an obvious one. It's just exciting.
Yeah, it's easy.
Exciting right now. I don't know how much it's gonna like die out of its excitement because of being a switch pitcher. Not that it's not cool, but how long is that going to be cool? I don't know. It's cool. It's new. It's fresh. It's fresh in the mind. It's cool to watch. But I think he has to, in general, just perform as a major leaguer, someday for that to be really like intriguing after that. Not to say it's not intriguing right now, obviously, but I think he's right there for me. Max Clark's an obvious one for me. Max Clark he's one of my just favorite prospects right now to watch. Every time I feel like I'm able to watch him, he's always doing something, whether it's speed wise, whether it's, at the plate, whether it's in the outfield. I remember watching spring training, I think he made a diving catch and was able to double up somebody right off at second. I mean, everything intrigues me about Max Clark's game. So I'm really looking forward to seeing just, this is obviously just, what prospects we're excited about in general. Not just this game, but I would say in general, Nick. But Clark, excited to see what he's going to do in this game and, going forward. Sebastian Walcott, I think that's how you say it. It's not Walcott because that would mean that I don't know, but it's definitely Sebastian Walcott. And right now he is the 9th ranked prospect in baseball. Really intrigues me. His arm grade, according to MLB Pipeline, is a 70. His power is 65. It hasn't necessarily come along for him, his power yet as a prospect just yet, but really looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do, but especially in this game. And then the last one, man, this one's really intriguing to me. You know me, I love Randy Johnson. How about Noah Schultz from Noah Schultz from the White Sox? Why is this escaping me? Yes, Noah Schultz from Chicago. He is 6'10", and he has a 70 grade slider, 60 grade fastball. And really looking forward to seeing what this kid's going to be able to do. He's able to, he boosted his fastball from 89 to 92 in high school to 93 to 97, with a peak of, 99 as a pro. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do in this game. Showcase his stuff. I mean, I think Noah Schultz is probably the one I'm really looking forward to the most to watching in this game, to be honest. So Noah Schultz probably my number one, but really looking forward to seeing Max Clark as well as Sebastian Walcott as well.
Yeah, and I'm glad you bring up Noah Schultz because listen, this is a guy who's just a tower. I mean, just a unit on the mound, right? And is a lefty. Listen, he's got a really good fastball. Sliders ridiculously filthy. This is a guy who profiles as a high-end starter if he's able to come up. Could come up this year, maybe late in the year, 2026 as well. But this is a guy you want in your pitching rotation at some point down the line. I think he's going to be a really good player. This is his second year in a row. He's going to be at the Futures game. It's a great pick by you. He's on his way. He's close. He's getting there.
Okay. All right. So we're looking forward to the Futures game, which is, why is it escaping me? It will be, when is it, Nick? I don't know.
I believe it's the 12th.
12th, July 12th. Yep. So the weekend of the All-Star. Yep, so you're right. Saturday, July 12th, Truist Park, 4 p.m. Look at that. It'll be live on MLB Network, as well as MLB TV, MLB.com, and the MLB app. So really looking forward to the Futures game. All right, Nick, we have possibly someone get two people getting back together now. ESPN and MLB had what the Athletic called a contentious breakup earlier in the year. I know that MLB had been in talks with NBC, Apple, and Fox. Had been linked to, parts or all of the current package, but it looks like maybe we're going to get a reunion here. Well, I mean, technically there are already games on ESPN now, but for going forward in the future for a reunion, according to The Athletic, discussions were described to be in their early stages, and if they were to progress, would center around local rights and pieces of ESPN's former package. If no new agreement is struck, their relationship would end in October. And according to Manfred and The Athletic, Manfred said he hopes to have a deal in place by mid-July's All-Star game. So, a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That's what he hopes to. That's what he hopes. So, we'll see.
Yep.
But it looks like MLB and ESPN might be on track to a reunion here.
Could be. I mean, listen, they've been together for 35 years. I mean, it's like, whoa, if they lose baseball, if MLB and ESPN aren't together, I mean, it's another big player. You just saw the NBA and TNT. They broke up, right? So, like, you're seeing a lot of these media deals come to an end, and now new ones starting to take fruition. Listen, they were lowballed early on. They withdrew. MLB called ESPN a shrinking platform, so it got nasty between these two parties. There's some rumors that MLB TV could be integrated in the platforms like ESPN Plus, things of that nature that's coming up. But yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, they have until October to get this done. This is just fascinating because baseball's in a really good spot right now too, and I feel like they would have more leverage than ESPN does. But I mean, listen, ESPN lowballed them. At first, it was $550 million. Now they lowballed them at $200 million. So maybe they've come together and they've recognized their differences, and maybe they'll figure it out at this point. But you never know. Like, is NBC going to take over again because they just got the NBA? Are they going to try and steal the MLB too? That'll be fascinating. But you have you have Sunday Night Baseball, which is a legendary brand.
Not the same
right there
anymore, man.
It's not the same, but it's still there. And I think people recognize the Sunday Night Baseball. Like, I get home, man, and from like whatever I'm doing that day, and I know I can just turn on the Sunday Night Baseball game for a few minutes, right, and see what game's going on, some of the top talent in the league. So yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with the MLB TV, if they do come to an agreement, and how much that ESPN is going to pay, because it was at $550 million before. They lowballed them at $200 million. Where's that number going to end up? Listen, I miss Chris Berman on the All-Star game stuff too, like the home run derby. Man, that was the greatest, right? Like MLB on ESPN. He was the greatest at it. So I hope it stays, because I don't want to see Sunday Night Baseball leave. And 35 years is a long time. You're going to divorce after 35 years. Come on now, Fran. I can't see it happening. But there's some of the angles that I'm interested in seeing, and they get it done by July. Very, very, very interested to see if that actually happens. Yeah, it's close. It's July 1st at the time of this recording.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, look, I'll just be honest, Nick. It's not the same anymore on ESPN. It's not. They don't have great crews.
Where do you want to move it to?
Somewhere else. Let's see what they got. NBC. I like Fox.
What about Apple?
Oh boy. I mean, we do have but
go to streaming. Go right to streaming. What about Netflix? What if Netflix slid in there?
I mean, Netflix is getting everything.
They're getting everything. I mean, it's where we're going, man. It's where it's headed. So you're gonna see a lot of these deals taking place with a lot of the streaming companies too. So something to watch for.
Yes, it is. So let's round out the meat and potatoes, and I know you are excited for this. I am too. Okay,
throw up the graphic, Nick. Throw it up. Throw up the. I'm talking in third person.
There he goes. Ellie versus O'Neal. If you're wondering why we do this, I don't even know why we do it either. But I mean, I guess it's because our last names are Cruz and their shortstops.
They came up around the same time.
O'Neal's been more of a center fielder this year, hasn't he? I'm trying to see what his overall fielding this year because I don't even know. He's been mostly a center fielder this year.
Yeah,
he has not played shortstop at all. So maybe that ship has sailed, and he's not been a good center fielder this year as well. He's got -6 DRS this year. But Nick, I was boasting to you about a month ago, saying, "Look at that, O'Neal. You think you are, Ellie?" And boy, Ellie had a monster month of June. O'Neal Cruz did not. It was the complete opposite. And
damn
Ellie
right,
Cruz,
damn right.
Yep. And Ellie had a monster month of June. He had 7 home runs. He had 344, a 427 on base, 656 slug with almost an 1100 OPS, and he has some pretty good numbers on the year now. Nick has 18 home runs.
Yep.
He has 858 OPS, but he's not O'Neal Cruz though. He's not leading the National League in stolen bases. He's not leading the majors in strikeouts. 746 OPS now. And O'Neal Cruz in the month of June hit under 200 and under a 600 OPS and only hit 3 home runs. So Nick, safe to say Ellie is leading the charge right now in this versus whatever we want to call it. Yep. I don't know what we're calling it, but
Ellie versus O'Neal. You laid it out all for me. Ellie De La Cruz is the better baseball player. He's having a better year. He will catch him in stolen bases. He's only 5 behind. O'Neal at 27. Ellie's at 22. No problem there. We'll take over that as well. I mean, Ellie's just, month of June is absolutely ripping it, and he's coming to Philadelphia. The Cincinnati Reds playing the Phillies very soon. We might have to go to a game together. We might have to go to a shift game together or something. So we'll
Sunday, I'll be there this Sunday. I told you before the start. Let me know.
All right. By the way, 210 batting average, 324.
Hey, put some respect on it. I just want you to put a little bit of respect on O'Neal Cruz's metrics, okay? Base running value, 94th percentile. Average exit velocity.
We go to sleep right now. I'm just gonna
hold on. Let me talk. Barrel percentage right now, 99th percentile. Hard hit percentage, 99th percentile. Bat speed, 100th percentile. Walk percentage right now, 13.8%. Still, look. All I'm saying is put some respect on O'Neal Cruz's name. He's still fun to watch. While he did not have a good month of June, he is still an exciting baseball player to watch. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a solid player. He's no Ellie De La Cruz, let me tell you. There's no Ellie De La Cruz.
What can happen in a month we just saw. So we'll see what can happen in a month. I mean, we'll see the opposite maybe.
Yeah,
I'm rooting for both to have great careers. I want this to –
Ellie has 91 hits to 58 to O'Neal. It's just – I
agree. I know Ellie has had a better season. All I'm saying is what I think I want the end goal for this to be is I'm hoping that this segment can push them to be better. I'm hoping they're watching or listening and saying, man, you know what? I got to be better than Ellie. And then once, Ellie sees Ellie have a hot June, he's like, I got to have a hot July. And then Ellie's like, I saw O'Neal have a hot July. Now I got to even, you know what I mean? He got 5 All-Star appearances. I need 5 All-Star appearances.
I love the cope. I love the cope.
And in 10 years, when we're doing like shift episode number 550, we'll be doing it again. And we'll have them both in the show and we'll talk about in their Hall of Fame speech. We're like, I'd like to thank the shift.
Yeah. O'Neal, I don't know. Ellie, yeah, I'll be at that induction for sure. We'll be.
I know you will.
I hope I get to present him. That'd be great. That's my goal. Can I present Ellie De La Cruz?
There's something wrong. Like, why would
let me present? Let Nuggets present. All right.
That would be almost as crazy as Wade Boggs reportedly accepting $1 million to go in with a Devil Rays hat in the whole
crazy.
You talk about that?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did talk about it. All right. Anyway, let's get to the blind ranking there, Rojas. Let's close it out.
So, Nick, it's been a while since we did this. I think you gave me one last time. And I enjoy it from both sides. But I think I've come to the conclusion I like being able to give you the list. for you to do.
All right.
So, and I enjoy this one because, I did a little bit of, not even like real creativity, but I was thinking, today is this day. So today is, it's Canada Day, and the Blue Jays had a monster day.
It is.
They beat the Yankees big time. George Springer had a monster day.
It is also Bobby Bonilla Day.
See, it's also Bobby. I didn't even think about that. Why didn't I mention that on the show yet? Or
it's Bobby Bonilla Day too.
Happy Bobby Bonilla.
Happy Bobby Bonilla Day.
40 minutes to get in the show, but I mean, look, it's been mentioned every year. Yeah,
every year.
So that's,
it's lost its luster. I don't know why this year it lost its luster this year. I don't know why.
The last couple of years, though, I don't disagree. The last couple of years, it's faded a little bit.
It has.
Well, the more we get closer to it, or look farther away from it, it's
right.
What when's the last year of it?
2035.
Yeah, so like that'll be a big
right?
year. That'll be a big year. Like 2034, we'll be like, one more year, and then we'll get to it, and then that'll be it. So anyway, going off of Canada Day, Nick, I have for you. I need you to I want you to rank these best seasons ever by a Canadian baseball player.
Ooh.
And there's some good ones here. And I didn't know first. At first I thought about it. I had the idea, and then I looked at the Canadian-born players, and I was like, oh, wait, there's some good ones here. So I'm going to start this before I say two, and I will let you know. These are all MVP or Cy Young seasons. So it's not going to make it like too tough. Not going to make it like that crazy.
All right.
So let's start. 2006 American League MVP for the Minnesota Twins, Justin Morneau. He is Canadian. That year, he hit 320. We slashed 321, 375, 559. Had 34 home runs and 130 RBIs. Justin Morneau did for the Twins. Nick. So where are you going to put Justin Morneau? 190 hits, by the way. And where are you going to put Morneau?
I'm going to go because I don't know what's coming after this. This is a good one. I like this one a lot. Very creative by you.
Thank you.
I'll go 4 for Morneau. I'll put him at 4 to start.
All right. Number 4. All right. 2010 National League MVP for the Cincinnati Reds, Joey Votto, who is Canadian as well. 2010 NL MVP season. I think we both remember it well because that was the, when the Phillies faced the Reds in the NLDS and Roy Halladay threw the no-hitter. So Joey Votto that year hit 324, had a 424 on base, slugged 600, had no PS over 1,000, hit 37 home runs, 113 RBI. I think that was like the first real year that Joey Votto really broke out. He broke out in a big way and won the National League MVP, Nick. So what do you think, Nick? Where are we going with 2010 Votto MVP year?
I'm going to go 3. Okay. Votto 3, Morneau 4.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, man. Where it gets fun. 2003 National League Cy Young. I almost forgot he was Canadian, but he is Canadian. I mean, you think of the last name. Eric Gagne. That was the year he had 55 consecutive saves, was on that consecutive save streak. Obviously, led the majors in saves that year, had a minuscule ERA of 120. You don't really see relievers, closers win the Cy Young too often.
No.
He did win the Cy Young. That year recorded 55 consecutive saves, 2 fewer than the record for non-consecutive saves in a single season. Where are you putting 03 Eric Gagne?
Man, I don't know what else you got left in there. So I'm going to go Gagne 5. I'm going to put him 5.
Gagne 5.
Interesting.
Okay, it's fine. No.
I probably should have put. I'm already thinking about where I should have put.
Yeah. Like I can still let you change it before you go to the next one. So.
All right. I'll go 5. I'll put him at 5, just because he's a reliever. It's not a slight, but he's not an everyday player.
Right.
Impressive.
But, I mean, hey, we remember Brad Lidge here with the consecutive saves.
Yes, absolutely.
He went 10 plus more, or even over 2 seasons. I think it was 80. I think it ended up at 80 something, almost 90.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah, it was incredible. So yeah, Eric Gagne. So you got him at number 5. Okay.
I'll put him at 5.
Okay. It's another crazy season. Another wild season. This is one of my favorites too. He's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, I think He was the second Canadian-born Hall of Famer to go in the Hall of Fame. The first one is actually on this list too, and he'll be last. And maybe I shouldn't have given you that hint, but I actually don't know if you still think I'm talking about. 1997 National League MVP. I don't think this MVP season gets talked about enough. Underappreciated stuff. I might have to do like a list of like 50 of underappreciated things in baseball. Actually not a bad list for a video or something. I don't know. But 1997 National League MVP, Larry Walker, Nick, who was a monster in the steroid era for the Rockies. 1997 NL MVP season, hit 366, had a 452 on base, 720 slug. It's unreal. 49 home run, 130 RBI. I forgot to add how many stolen bases he had that year, too. I mean, I got to look it up real quick because I forgot. I'm mad I forgot to put that. I think he had 33 stolen bases to go along with that. Almost had a 10 baseball reference WAR, Nick. Gold Glove and Silver Slugger. Not to mention how good he was at the plate. He was also an incredible right fielder. Big reason why he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Nick, where he got 97 NL MVP, Larry Walker.
I think I'm going to put him 1. I'm going to put Larry Walker 1 on this list. Okay. I think I depending on who you have last, I think I'm not going to be too disappointed in this list, depending on who you got next.
Okay. I'm not. Yeah. I mean, his 97 MVP was
ridiculous.
Ridiculous. You actually weren't born yet, so yeah, no. I can actually use that line. Okay. Excuse me, I was about to burp. Nope, not going to. So that's how you go to number 1 here, or the first one.
Attaboy. Way to lead in.
I got something right there. I don't know what it is in my chest. I got something.
Way to lead in.
I don't know. That's how we do. So 1971 National League. I know. I'm going back a ways, but I couldn't not have this guy on the list because of what he does, for Canada and everything. And he was drafted by the Phillies, by the way, and was traded. And I think he's in one of the most infamous trades, I believe. The history of the franchise. Maybe that's Ryan Sandberg, but Fergie Jenkins, 1971 National League MVP year, Nick. He had 24 wins that led the National League, had a WAR over 10. It's more than Larry Walker had that year. Had 30 complete games, led the National League with 325 innings, had 263 strikeouts that year, won the Cy Young, finished 7th in MVP voting, led the majors in walks per 9 innings, led the National League in batters faced, Nick, where he got 1971. I mean, he can only go one place.
I can only go one place, so I'll throw him 2. So I end up going Larry Walker 1, Fergie 2, Votto 3,
correct,
Morneau 4, and Gagne 5. I don't hate that list, actually, off the rip. I don't hate it.
Well, I think I will say this. I think Gagne 5's too low, man. I would probably go Gagne 3.
Nah, I can't put him at 3. I'd probably put him 4.
Yeah, I'm not. See, I guess my only issue is I think I like where you have Votto. I like where you have Walker and Jenkins. I think you need to swap.
Big Morneau. That's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair.
3. I just think what Gagne did in that time period
it's ridiculous. True.
I know he's a reliever. But still insane.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the initial blind ranking. Oh, I think that was pretty solid.
No, initially, I think it's not bad. I would have gone personally if we're just we're talking about this just to wrap it up. I probably would have gone Walker 1, Jenkins 2, which you had. Votto 3.
Yep.
Gagne 3, Votto 4.
Wow,
and then
Votto 4.
5. Morneau definitely 5. Morneau
right.
year. I don't know. There's arguments that Morneau.
Yeah, that was a good one. Great job by you. Creative.
Hey, I was creative
by you.
I was like, well, no, I'm about to sneeze. I think I'm about to. Usually when I sneeze, when I say I'm going to sneeze and I don't sneeze. But anyway, so good job by you on doing that ranking.
Yeah,
that was fun. I told you I was excited for that one. So
that was a good one.
I expect you to come back with some fire on the next
one. I will. Next episode. Let's do another one next episode. How about that?
Okay, you to me.
Next episode. I got you.
All right, cool. Nick,
that's all I got. That's all we got.
Hey,
all we got. All we got.
Episode 92 of The Shift. We'll be back soon. Stay tuned. I'm pretty sure we'll see. Gonna do something All-Star related. I'm
Yep.
sure soon.
Definitely.
Talk about the voting, stuff like that. We really haven't gotten to that in the last couple episodes yet, but we're saving that for the next one because we're gonna put our All-Star teams together and all that stuff.
Do it.
At least soon. So that will do it for us. Make sure you subscribe to us everywhere. We'll be back soon. Talk to you guys later.